Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
Some white observers mistakenly assumed the blacks were slaves to the Seminoles.
It really was not a slave-master relationship. They intermarried, and they had a common interest in wanting to hold that land where they were living freely. They had acquired big herds of cattle themselves.
But Georgian slave owners raged against the Black and Seminole alliance. They demanded that the U.S. government capture the former slaves and their children, even if it meant invading Spanish Florida, which they did in 1812.
Blacks and Indians fought so fiercely and with such determination that they routed the Georgians who were invading Florida. They even fought and defeated a U.S. Marine contingent that was assisting those Georgians.
But within a few months, the Georgians were back with fresh troops. They invaded the prairie, pillaged the towns, burned hundreds of log homes. These few excavated remains tell of a settled life destroyed forever.
Come on, y'all. Peep game, peep game, peep game. So the Europeans classify the blacks with the Seminoles as slaves, but what is actually going on in reality is that the Seminole Indians and the African slaves that are now part of the Seminole tribe, they're actively fighting against making black Seminole slaves. The white man says they're slaves, but actually they're killing the white man to try to preserve the black Seminoles' freedom. This is why we can't trust their version of history. Do you understand?
The Seminoles scattered south. Many of the black Seminoles disappeared to a place where the invading Americans would not find them for a long time.
The Seminoles were pretty well crippled and dispersed in a number of different directions, beginning in about 1813. One of the spots they came, I think, was in this vicinity here.
This map, drawn more than 150 years ago in the diary of an American military engineer, led anthropologist Brent Wiseman to this remote location on the Withlacoochee River. The diary's author, Henry Prince, called this place Boggy Island.
We're now in the middle of Boggy Island, high and dry, in the midst of river swamp all around. This is the area described by Henry Prince as being cleared and cultivated by the black Seminoles during the Second Seminole War period. It was in this area here, now overgrown as a very beautiful mesic hammock, that the black Seminoles grew corn, beans, several varieties of squash, pumpkins, and along the edge of the river, sugarcane. We know very little about how these black Seminoles were living. We don't know what their settlement looked like. We don't know anything about their daily lives. On the other hand, we have a very informative historical resource below our feet, a relatively undisturbed archaeological site out here somewhere, waiting to be further explored. And it's quite possible that archaeology will hold the key to developing a real history of these black Seminoles in Florida.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.